Well, silver's a road to stardom, and equities are the road to basically nowhere, dead end. As of right now, the trends reverse and the trends change. You know, you sound stupid when a trend has been going the opposite of what I just said right now, because silver's been going down for 3 years, and the general equities have been going up. But basically, this is the road to the equities right now. You should be getting off on the next canoe that arrives and take your cash. And that's that's what a lot of the most wealthy people are doing right now, because the road right now for equities is a dead end. And when the flood comes, the flood is just going to wash away the whole house of cards. That's what's going to happen. So the Eye of Horus, or the Oracle, is giving you this information. Now, I'm going to tell you what I put out here is not something that comes from. First off, I have absolutely no financial connection with any kind of agreement with any silver bloggers. I have no financial connection to anybody that sells silver or anything like that. I know I work with a CPA firm. They also work with a boutique investment house, but they really don't have anything to do with the precious metals either at all. They don't even. They kind of tell people to put a little bit of their money in it, but they hardly even push it at all. So that's generally not even their advice. This is actually coming from me, and this is my own personal strategy, because I could see what the writing is on the wall. And I also agree a lot with, I know it's Mark Faber, but, George Soros also gave us a major hint about gold being the ultimate bubble. And, back when he said that, everybody said it was in a bubble, and now it crashed. And I think he really was giving us a hint that eventually it will be the ultimate bubble due to all the debt that's been accumulated in all the governments. Now, you've been hearing this crap for a long time, but things don't, it's almost like waiting for grass to grow, except it's taken a few seasons, to do that. But anyway, unlike the rest of the people out there who might say, I don't know what to say, I got plenty to say, because there's actually a lot of information out there. Because I don't look at what the other silver bloggers do. I never really look at what they do. I never review anything what they do. I only look at major media sources. So when you're seeing what information I'm giving you major media sources. Now, I put a video out, and actually always put that video out on the link on the bottom in the information box about the silver MACD. Say it's a buy. And I know it's really the MACD, but I had to put the information out in a more fun way to watch or something, because I know I got 95% or more male audiences out there, and I know, like, if you put financial information out, it's a little bit too dry. So I try to, just give it to you in like common sense way. But I'm giving you hardcore facts. I'm not giving you some garbage. So I'm going to tell you right now. Basically, the best thing is, as long as you're sitting on your stash and you're chilling out, fine. What I'm really encouraging people to do is not to get discouraged, throw in the towel, and sell off. Yeah, I know. If you pick the bottom of commodity, the exact bottom of a commodity, even one time, and you sold at the exact point way up there, I mean, yeah, you can be making 20, 30 times in your money or some garbage a lot of times. That's just not how it works. I mean, even Jim Rogers, if you look back to stories of Jim Rogers, he was right, and he was shorting certain companies. And yeah, they did go out of business eventually, but he lost his ass because it took like 2 or 3 years for him to go out of business. So that's why you don't, when you're playing leverage, it's dangerous. And I don't recommend telling you playing leverage. I'm just telling you to just hedge a little bit on coins here and there. And, for when the dollar does decrease in value, we will have a stronger middle class of the people who had hedged on silver coins. Because actually it's the coins that are probably going to be worth more than what's in the SOV and all that type of stuff, because I don't really know what's in that SOV. I know they said it's controversial that it's audited and all that type of stuff, but I don't understand actually how they could be keeping that much silver on hand with all the fees that are going out to people for not just security but accounting purposes, is sending out financials to all these people, and all the bureaucratic support that's involved, and tax support and everything else that's involved, administration of support for the SOV fund, where they could be saying, how's the fund actually making money, right? So it's like almost like a no-brainer. There's not as much silver in the SOV as they say. It's a no-brainer. So you're better off having your own stash, and it's best if you can actually do like what I do, because I work with a CPA firm and an investment house, there's a major safe and security over there, and that is it's not a bank. It's not a bank. It's my own. It's like that's a trusted source for me. So that is one of your best bets, but very few people can actually do that, because it doesn't cost me anything or anything. But in the future, the dollar is going to take a major bloody hit, man. It's going to be like blood money, man. It's not going to go away completely. It's always going to be worth something, but it's going to be a major fight for dollars, because even if the economy actually is doing pretty good, though. There's a lot of jobs out there. There's actually the job market, even though it's not all the best paying jobs, there's probably, it's not just the low paying jobs, the middle paying jobs are growing too. So there is a lot more, the economic recovery is being helped out a lot by these energy prices. But I want to tell you something else. There's other things coming up, because you starry-eyed silver holders, I know people like who hold silver. It's almost like the silver bugs, the gold bugs. Everybody thinks you're looking through like tinted glasses and stuff like that. But it's gonna play out, because let me put it to you this way: 1994, it was a major market correction, right? Now, a lot of times these market corrections are coming about and they're getting worse and worse and worse, because of the Fed stimulating and pumping up the economy again in different areas and creating bubbles in different areas. So every time what happens is the market does finally correct. But there seems like to be a 7-year pattern. So 1994, you had 7 years to that. 2001, that was the other correction where the tech boom crashed. And then in 2008, or actually the very bottom was the very early 2009, but 2008 was when the market corrected. 7 years later, and if you add another 7 years onto that, we got 2015. Now, 2015 is interesting because it's the fourth blood moon. It's the it's the 7th year on the Hebrew calendar. I know sometimes people relying on that stuff a little bit too much, but I'm not just putting it on that. But I just put out a video, and it's, to me, it's like really super ironclad, because common sense. Because financials dictate really what the markets will do. You see, a lot of the markets right now, it's because a lot of the companies are flush with cash because of QE, right? That's why the markets are going up, especially in the Dow, and a lot of it is the big banks are bringing the things up. But if the markets consisted of strictly the metal sector, they'd be horrible. The miners are doing terrible, right? But the miners are a small portion of the markets. But the energy sector is about 25% of the markets, and the research and development sector, because now research and development is not going to be pouring into the energy sector, because the outlook looks bad. Before, research and development money was pouring into the energy sector because they figured there would be at least $90 a barrel. Now it's in the 60s. But not only is the profitability going to be down, the research and development area is going to be abysmal. So that's a major, major, major slice of the broad general equities, and it's going to bring them down. And once the broad general equities go down, that could cause a sell-off in other areas, and that's what happened in 2008. That's why oil, the crash of commodities, especially oil, will precede that. Now, oil going up is going to lead to charge, is actually going to lead to charge for gold and silver. And I always said that, what happens is if there's a crisis in the Middle East that's really severe, oil will go way the hell up, and that's when you'll have the super spike in silver and gold. But as far as the banksters go, their days are numbered. And this is what they're going to be thinking when the crash of 2015 comes. If I was a bird, I'd fly into a ceiling fan. That's basically what's going to be with these guys. And you guys with silver and girls and women's and that stuff are going to be freaking sitting good. Why? Because it's already been crashed, man. The commodities crashed first. Now, I thought when oil went down to like 80 something and silver went down to like even in the below 20, I thought that was the crash. But obviously right now, we're seeing, when you're talking about 16 from, talking about 48, that's down to 1/3. That's a severe, severe crash. Now, also to predict that it's going to drop another 40% from here to 10, I don't know. I mean, I kind of doubt that. But it's almost like, when things are going up, everybody tends to predict them going up. When they're going down, they tend to predict them going down. So, there's got to be a turnaround point. And when a turnaround point is the hardest thing to predict. But it looks like the turnaround point is coming up because, like what I said about the energy prices. But anyway, if you're up there in Buffalo, I guess you can't wait for a happy first day of spring, and you can chill out with only about 6 inches of snow, and you get out there with your barbecue and your swimsuits and have some wine and be outside in the great outdoors with not too many icicles and the snow is not up to your neck, right? So anyway, I had to put a word out for Buffalo. But anyway, I'm going to tell you one thing. It's another thing, actually, I don't really think oil is going to stay down, but for it to go to like 60 to 100 right now, or 65 to 100, is going to be a long stretch. But I don't think oil is going to stay down where it's going to break the Bakken reserves, oil reserve, and all the shale oil industry in the United States. And it also gives a lot more impetus for them to start a war and freaking take that oil off the freaking map that's in Saudi. If Saudi is really trying to break the U.S. oil industry, I don't really think they are. Man. So I always got plenty to say. Some of the others don't have nothing to say, but I always have plenty to say. Because, I do read a lot. And I have been in this field for many years. And I have worked with some of the most aggressive entrepreneurs in the world. When a situation looks really bad, that doesn't mean you throw in the towel. And also, I'm a cautious person. It doesn't mean that you want to get rich right away. You do things in steps. You play it cautious. It's possible to get rich right away, but, as even Jim Rogers found out early on in his early career, he went up to like a whole lot of money. He was a big star, and then the next year he collapsed. So you play it a little more cautious, man. If you want to if you don't have any silver right now, and you want to wait for $10, and you think it's a good investment, and you're waiting for $10, I think you might be waiting forever. That's not a guarantee that, but I also tell you, looking back at the stuff I put out before about the MACDs, that was right for the major media. That wasn't from the silver bloggers. And the silver actually crashed more since I put out that video, which was about the MACD. It indicates that silver's a generalist trend is a buy the first time in many years, right? And then it went down actually below 15 briefly overnight. Right now it's up over 16. So, but, here you're looking at gold over 1,200 again. Palladium's around, well, now it's dropped this hair, but it's, the metals have always been erratic. I mean, the metals always move around a hell of a lot more than the general equities. And the thing is, the general equities, now that they're getting close to this area, like I'm going to tell you right now, 25%, I don't have the S&P on here, but 25% of the S&P is the energy sector. When you're talking about what's going on in the silver markets or the palladium markets is like nothing compared to, there's no more. There's only like a couple stocks in that. It's like nothing. You're talking about the gold miners and stuff, even the copper miners. It's not a major part of the economy. The energy sector is a huge part. So when you're talking about the crude oil down at like in the 60s, their profitability is going to be horrible. It's going to be horrible. And when those financials are released, it's going to reflect that. You see, the reason stocks go up is not just because of Fed spending or Fed pumping up the markets. I know that's been the case in the last 3 years. We had the tech bubble for one reason. We had the real estate bubble for because of the Fed, the interest rates. And now we have the Fed directly interfering in the equities. Directly. It's the first time ever. This is the bubble right now, the Dow and the S&P. That's the bubble right now. When the energy sector reports, it starts reporting its financial sector, in that area, that financial sector starts reporting, and they start showing the profitability at $65 an ounce. $65 a barrel for the WTI. What you're going to be seeing is that you're going to be seeing a problem where they're going to have a major sell-off, and there's going to be blood in the streets, man. Basically, and I think it's going to be more of a sell-off than when in 2001 or 2008. It's going to be more. Because when they interfere in the markets, it doesn't allow the natural thing to happen. It just, in other words, We have ups and downs in the markets. It's normal. But when they interfere in the markets, what happens? When they have the actual correction catches up, it's like all hell breaks loose, man. So if you as silver holders, you're going to be sitting pretty good, man. You're going to be saying like, screw the world. And, actually right now, it's probably, I could be wrong because I said about 18 was probably it, man, a line in the sand. But, there is going to be a line in the sand here pretty soon. And, if you put if you're not going to be able to get everything in exact freaking point where it's going to go exactly correct, nobody gets it right that way. As a matter of fact, if you could predict the movements of any commodity in a year, you could predict, say, what it's going to be on Monday, every Monday, right? Of any commodity, any single commodity. You could start out with a few $100, and you can be a multi-billionaire by the end of the year. That's why nobody gets it that damn right. But the point is, you don't put all your money into silver. You just put some here and there. And it's going to be one of the things that is going to be not tied in. Silver coins are not going to be tied in with the financial system per se. That's the beauty of it. And there's going to be a major, major problem with the financial system. And I think the government is going to be a major, major shareholder in a lot of the biggest investment houses in New York when the next crisis hits. And I think that's the rhyme and the method of the madness of them pumping up the markets the way they are. So a lot of the Wall Streeters are going to be going in investment houses. If I was a bird, I'd fly into the ceiling fan. That's what's going to happen. But, in the meantime, chill out, I mean, it looks like winter for silver, but the winter basically is over. It is. It's basically over. You do have something to cheer about. It's a complicated bottom. It's been a long, complicated bottom. But when the S&P corrects hard, it's going to be the Fed really is out of bullets, man. The only option they have left is one thing. One thing, and they've already told us, and you've been hearing it for years now, they've already told us what it was. It was called devalue the dollar. That's the only option they got left. That's the only thing they got left now is devalue the dollar. So the blood money is going to be, it's going to get like roadkill, man. The dollar's going to be like roadkill, man. But it's still going to be worth something. It's still going to be worth something. It's still going to be the currency of the United States of America. It's not going to go to zero, but it's going to take a major hit. It's going to take a major hit. So, and then it'll get adjusted to one place or another. All right? So, I'm putting out common sense here. Like I said, I don't get any of my information. I have absolutely, from the silver bloggers, I don't get any information. I have no connection to anybody. I know sometimes my videos are posted on other silver blogs. I just don't have any connection to them, though. They're posting my videos. I don't know what people are doing. I'm totally independent. I'm telling you, my background is finance and accounting. And, you're never going to get everything 110% correct. I mean, you could be in a real estate market. The market can go down. It can go up. You got to have patience. You don't put all your eggs in one area. That's the game. That's the game. You don't put all your eggs in one area. That's one thing I've already said from day one, and it was a very unpopular thing to say back in early 2011. That was a very unpopular thing to say, and I was always saying that. Don't put all your eggs in one area. And I always said that silver was a high-risk asset. But nobody wanted to listen to me back then. It always was. That's why people with big bucks don't put a lot of money into silver, man. They don't, man. They actually, what a lot of people do with a lot of money? There are a lot of them, almost every single person out there that has a lot of money has a lot of real estate. But it's also real estate that provides an income stream. Almost everybody out there that has lots of money has lots of real estate, and they have a real estate that has income stream. They just collect the fees on whatever the hell it is, the rentals and everything else, with business rentals especially. More reliable, where they have contracts and, leaseholders where they're in there for a long period of time. So it's a lot simpler, Anyway, I figured I'd just present this and just give you, I'm putting a lot of these videos out as a more or less, some people interpret it as I'm pumping silver. I'm not pumping silver. What I'm trying to do is make sure people do not get disheartened and sell out now when it's really depressed. That is my whole motive. I have zero connection. I'm going to repeat that again. I want people not to sell out and throw in the towel while silver is this low. Maybe it will go lower. I don't know. But then when it turns around, you're going to be kicking yourself in the ass that you sold it. You don't want to have so much money in silver that if you need to have some money, you have to sell it. You do not do that. Okay? I've always said not to do that. All right? So just sit on your stash and chill out. I know it's slightly depressing, but it's not really. It's not really because this is just normal for any commodity. This is how they work. But I could see a lot of light at the end of the rainbow here. And, I wish I had plenty to say, but I am the I am the eye of Horus here. But let me put it this way. I'm just giving you straight up, simple. This is the absolute factual way markets really work. When things turn around, it's going to be like, hell, for the last 3 years, the equity's been going up. You're an idiot for not buying the equities. Yeah, sure, fine. I will not buy them because the thing is, it's almost on a matter of principle. I'm like disgusted with the suits and the freaking Wall Streeters. I am. That's why you'll see a lot more videos on how to do stuff, man. I'm a hands-on type person, you know what I mean? Even though I've been in the financial field, I'm kind of fed up with those yo-yos, man. I really am. So I'm just telling you straight up scoop, man. Right now, the equities are the road to nowhere. They're the road to nowhere. You're going to be caught out there in the middle of nowhere, and water's going to come by when the freaking markets crash. Be one big flood, and you're going to get washed away, and you'll lose all that money. And it's the same thing with silver. When silver goes way the hell up, you're going to be more. You think it's nerve-wracking now. You're going to be scared to sell because everybody's going to be telling you the dollar's going to zero, and it's not. You see what I mean? So, silver's a tumultuous ride. Chill out. I mean, I don't know. I don't take any drugs, but maybe some of these people that smoke a lot of weed will probably be more chilled out than the average person. But it doesn't bother me. I'm trying to tell people this is just normal, man. This is normal for these damn commodities. Commodities are high risk, high reward. You got to have a lot of patience. It's a lot of emotional garbage going on. That's how they've been. That's how they've always been. It's nothing new. That's my whole point is don't throw in the towel and sell out, and that's when coins are going to be worth good. They're going to be good. They're going to be good to go.